Howdy, howdy, everyone. Welcome into the Medicare Cafe. I am actually getting the opportunity to say that I'm kind of the host this time. I'm the only one in the studio. I've upgraded, Mom. Look, get the camera. But I'm joined here with the lovely Olivia Richardson joining us from Medicarians Las Vegas. Um, how is it? How are you doing? I can see you on the camera and you're at least upright, so that's a good start.
I am upright. You never know. I mean, it's Vegas, so you never really know what you're gonna see. Right now, for me, you guys, Vegas is 2 hours behind Missouri. If you guys understand how clocks and the map of the United States work, I'm 2 hours behind. So it is 8 a.m. right now in my neck of the woods in Las Vegas. So it's been I'm very, very sleepy, but I'm being very, very brave. It's been awesome. It's been such a fun time. Medicarians is essentially just like a big family reunion where I get to see all my old friends and make new friends and whatnot. And it's been, man, I mean, we are one day, this is day, really the official day 2 of Medicarians, and it's been awesome. It's been really cool.
Yeah, I love that. I would love anyone that may be joining us here this morning, whether you're Central Time Zone, Eastern Time Zone, Mountain Time Zone, whatever you may be. Go ahead and drop a chat if you are at Medicarians. That way, Olivia can kind of keep an eye out for you guys. We didn't send her with a Where's Waldo outfit this time around, but maybe next year.
No, no, I'm wearing a black jumpsuit today, and I'm probably gonna have a little red blazer on it. So maybe some red vibes, but that's about as close as to Where's Waldo as I'm getting today.
Only one of the colors, and I mean, honestly, that's enough for me. I can't see the other
It
ones
has to be
anyway,
enough.
so.
It's gonna have to be enough.
Well, that's awesome.
Ugh.
Well, Olivia, I'd love to one, thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I know the cafe always holds a special place in your heart, and we get to feel that extra here today. I know you mentioned Medicarians being a bit of like a family reunion for you. You've been here, been there multiple years in the past. For an
Mhm.
agent who maybe isn't aware of what Medicarians is, or maybe why they should even consider going, or how to spell it, what would you kind of give them, maybe 30 seconds or less of what that looks like?
Honestly, the how to spell it isn't even a joke because, like, I'm like, is the E on there? Is it an I? Like, how do you spell Medicarian? So that's actually like a fair question. Medicarians has changed so much over the last few years. When I first started going to Medicarians back in early 2000 teens, what the event was about, it was much, much, much smaller, and it was really designed for more so just making connections, FMO partners. There wasn't a whole lot of agent content there. It was really something to where people at the FMO level, NMA level, the level of senior marketing specialist, maybe a couple under, to where we could get together, meet with each other. And honestly, it was kind of like, how do we make deals? Back in the day when we tried to fight for proprietary products, we try to be the FMO that took a carrier to market. That was back what Medicare used to be. Now, what is it today? It looks completely different. What it is today, it is designed for insurance agents and FMOs are just kind of in the background and asked to sponsor a lot of it, asked to pay for the meals at dinners and things like that. But it's been a really cool experience to kind of see it take this transition to where it is super agent focused. The expo center where they're going to have it. Yesterday was a free agent day, and that was whenever FMOs could sponsor agents who were going to be there. And in the past, there's been some people in there, but kind of touch and go. This year, I literally was walking to it because like, there was some speakers that I wanted to see, and I was walking to it, and like it was butt cheeks to elbows. I can't say what I normally say. Is that a Midwestern saying? Anyways, it was packed. It was like there was no walking in there. There was vendors were there, and but it was a really kind of like low key, not these big booths that you're expected to see at Medicarians. They're just like a little table, two representatives, and thousands of agents in this
Wow.
pretty smaller confined area. So it was just kind of like, man, people were really desperate to get in there. People were really desperate to talk to the vendors. So that was really telling to me. And then today it's going to be the big expo center is going to be open up where you're going to see the huge, comically large sized displays of people trying to get agents' attention and talking to them. So today I'm expecting to have a lot of really great conversations with agents. I'll be at the integrity booth and working the integrity booth from 3:30 to 5 o'clock local time. And so I'll be there. But what Medicarians is now is truly like an agent focused networking event, find you the right partners event, and then still there's still content going on too. There's so much going on.
I
That was
love
a
that.
really long-winded answer. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. I feel like it's just such a target rich environment of everyone that is so hyper focused on our industry, taking care of folks and being able to kind of figure out where you can maybe tie in with another company that is trying to do the same and really have someone advocate alongside of you with similar messages or a similar kind of feel for what they're trying to do in the industry. So sounds like a really energetic and fun spot to be.
What's been cool this year is that they're bringing in a lot of ACA. So
Mm,
in the past, it's Medicare, and it actually started off as Medicare Supplement Conference, the MedSup Conference. Then, as Medicare Advantage plans became more popular, that's where they kind of transitioned into the name Medicarians. And now they're bringing in a huge ACA representation and trying to talk to agents about if you're doing ACA, how do you add Medicare into that, vice versa. And they're titling ACA, but I think there's a lot of ACA alternative conversations happening too. So I think ACA has kind of taken the name of individual underage insurance, but it's a lot more than that. And this is the first year I've really seen much of a presence there. That's been cool.
that's really awesome. I feel like we've talked about it a lot on the cafe of
Hmm.
just product diversification, making sure that no one of your buckets can be completely ripped away from your agency and maybe
Yeah.
a swipe of a pen. So that makes a lot of sense. You mentioned earlier that, this event has taken many different views or different themes or maybe it has looked different over the different years. I'd love to know with
Yeah.
some of the conversations that you've been having or maybe some of the sessions that you were able to attend or maybe the themes of the sessions that you are going to attend here in the future. What do you think are some of those themes that they're focusing on right now in the industry that is standing out to you versus from past years?
Yeah, I think it's a trend that didn't start this year, but people are taking it seriously this year. And it is truly strength in the industry. Like what
Mm,
is the strength? What does the future of this industry look like is a lot of questions, a lot of the themes, a lot of the conversations. And in tandem with that, just diversification of the portfolio. Like I mentioned, ACA is here for the first time, but the agents that I've been talking to, what they're asking about is annuities. They're asking about ancillary products. They're asking about what's a healthy mix between MedSup and Medicare Advantage. So this year more than anything, it's been how do I diversify my income while not losing focus on my bread and butter? That's a rule that like McNerney Management, Community Marketing Specialist, we've always abided by that like there's been tons of opportunity that's come our way. And the kind of the rule is it insurance related? If yes, perfect. Let's look at it. If it's not insurance related, we don't have the focus. We don't need to lose focus on what we're the best at our hedgehog concept.
yeah.
And so I think a lot of agents are really trying to figure out is how do I make it so where 100% of my commission isn't dependent on the federal government, and how do I strengthen my brand in that? And then again, like so many conversations about like what is happening with the industry. The ones that I've heard from here, everybody's kind of if you're here, everybody's kind of on the same page of like the industry is strong, insurance agents aren't going anywhere.
Good.
Medicare is still going to be healthy and it's still going to be a viable product in the future, but things are going to look different. And so a lot of agents who are talking about like this has gotten too complicated, maybe they're interested in leaving or selling their block or doing something different. Agents who are here are just like, no, this we've gone through this, or we've known that Medicare has done flips and turns and twists and crazy things. Those who survive it will be the most successful and will thrive in the future. So that's definitely a theme that we're seeing here.
That's awesome. I feel like that's exactly what we needed right now. I feel like we were in such
Hmm.
a part of our industry where we continuously got more and more news and I mean the truth of the nature is that not a lot of it was positive
Yeah.
until maybe the final rule came out a couple weeks
No,
ago and
that's such a good point.
on that swing up of starting to get some better news in the hands of agents. So I'm glad to hear that on such a large scale it is felt that our industry is strong. It's just a matter of how do we position ourselves in order to capture the opportunity that's in front of us. I love to hear that.
Yeah, I think so. I think again, the final rule was such a good light on like, hey, the light on the other end of the tunnel is coming. There's a lot that it's agent friendly, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be happened to make to be carrier friendly. You know, if we need to remember that, like, we love our carriers. We tend to paint them in a bad light so many times, but if there's no carriers, then there's no product to sell.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we're continuing, you know, our carriers are being advocated for, that we're able to continue. Like, we're seeing some really positive changes for agents and for organizations like ours. We're going to continue to see that going across the entire board, which eventually means that our seniors are going to receive better care, better support, and better agents.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. If you guys are just
Yeah.
joining us, we are having a quick conversation with our main host, but co-host today, Olivia Richardson, out at Medicarians in Las Vegas. If you are joining her in that event this week, or make sure to throw a comment in the chat so she can try to keep an eye out for you. If you have any questions about Medicarians, please throw them in there. Moving from that, Olivia, I'd love to know from the agents that you've spoken with. I know you've had an opportunity to connect not only with agents ourselves that we currently work with, getting flagged down by maybe some cafe crew, and having some conversations with other carriers, and you just mentioned
That's the
having some of those
coolest.
kind of conversations. Would love to know, what are you hearing from them? I know we talked a little about the theme in the industry, but how are maybe some of the solutions they're offering? How are they? What are you hearing right now that feels different, or at least maybe very urgent right now in front of everyone?
I think urgency is key, right? Because everything feels a little different this year. Everything feels a little bit more. Some people are taking bigger, deeper breaths of like, okay, we're in the right direction. Some people are licking their chops with opportunity. I think what is consistent between anybody, regardless of how they're seeing this opportunity and what they're trying to get out of this opportunity, urgency, I think, is the key. Sorry, my badge tried to attack me. I was sorry. The urgency, I think, is going to be around the technology
Hmm.
and the use of AI. I think what I love seeing so much here is that, like, there's so many young sub 20-year-old agents here who are like trying to figure out how do they do it in a way that Gen Zer will do Medicare all the way. I mean, like, I saw some people that had to been. I'd hate for them to hear me know I was talking about them, but had to been in their 80s over here and there. You know, also all of them are having the same conversation. If you are wanting to thrive in this market right now, it is, what technology can I be leveraging?
Hmm.
What what can AI do for me safely? What can AI do for me to automate, to enhance the client experience? I think that's been the key here is yeah, it's, so many people who I've talked to, just kind of one-off meetings have been, I'm an individual agent, I maybe can get my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, they might pitch in some time on the weekends and things like that, but I'm an individual producer. I have 400 clients. I have 800 clients. I talked to one yesterday. I had 1,600 clients
Wow.
just by themselves. That's insane to be a solo producer, no help, managing 1,600 clients. And they were very growth minded. They were just like, "Oh, I'm not done. I am." He goes, I feel like I'm tapped at what I can do, but I'm not done growing. And so, how do I grow without having to take a massive cut to my revenue, or having to take a massive cut to my income by hiring somebody, which that's a whole nother conversation to have. That's a bad way to look at hiring, especially at that level. It's not a cut income. It is a investment in your future, but not ready to have that conversation. What it really was talking about, how do we use this technology that everybody's asking about, everybody's advertising, everybody is hungry for, to act as admin, to enhance your consumer experience without taking away the human side of what we do, which is insurance for our today's seniors. That's the urgency that everybody is kind of. A couple of years ago, it was compliance. Compliance was the urgent. Compliance was the frantic. Compliance was, we got to figure this out. Now it's like, okay, that's back on cue. We're back. We're back as it should be on compliance. Now, how do I grow with limited resources using technology?
I feel
That's been by far like what everybody's been talking about.
I feel like we had to right the ship, and now that the ship is on course and not at
Yeah,
risk of going under, we've faced all the krakens, we've fought all the mythical beast of the ocean. Now it's like, hey,
yeah.
let's full sails, let's get to our destination and beyond, and really see what this can look like.
Now that the ship is not trying to be a submarine,
Yeah.
like, let's figure out how to. And I think it's like, you only get so much energy, right? I'm a huge proponent. You only get so much energy
Hmm.
in a day and a time, and it's where you invest the energy. Before it was investing it in trying to stop the ship from being a submarine. Now we can invest it in the fun stuff, which is growth. And it's been really just so refreshing. It's been so refreshing to talk to agents because it's the loud agents. I'll say it like this: bad news, negativity spreads so much faster than the happy stuff. So
Hmm.
when you're on these chat rooms, when you're on social media, it's nothing, just like not nothing. There's a lot of really good content that comes from these organizations and these rooms, and there's a lot of good stuff. But there's so much negativity too. And so when you're just in person and you're talking to these agents and we're all excited and we're all trying to go the same direction and just finding different ways to get to the same point, it's like just good for my soul to like just be back talking to my friends, talking to these agents, being like, man, like we are going the right direction. It's been really cool.
I love that. There's always something to be said. Surrounding yourself with like-minded company and those that are willing to lift
Yeah.
others up or lift yourself up instead of just mope around and focus on maybe the slight things that we have less control of what that may look like.
Yeah.
You're in
Yeah.
charge of what
For
you can
sure.
control. So I love
Yeah.
hearing
And
that.
I think that's what we're seeing here is people are taking control of what they can take control of. And this year that's tech. That this year that's AI. This year this is efficiency. I think what the last few AEPs has shown people, and knowing that 2027 AEP is shaping up to just be a three-peat of the last two, people are just like, I have to. I am not done helping people. I need to help more people. I'm getting phone calls every day asking for help. If I don't do something different this AEP, then I'm going to be letting so many of my clients down. I'm going to be letting myself down. Like, I'll still make great money. I'm still like, I will still get my renewals. I'll still do a great income, but I'm going to be leaving so many people on the table that needed help that didn't get it. And so that's been really cool to see people really lean into the I'm needed as an agent. My job's not going anywhere. I provide value. I got to figure out how to clone myself so I can give more of my value to more people.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know there's folks out there that are chomping at the bits to get some time with you. I think you're
Sure.
kind of prefacing this very, very well. And as we kind of wrap up, I'd love to know, what would be one thing that you're hoping agents are taking away from either their time at Medicarians or maybe as they're having conversations with agents who did attend, what are they hoping that they're spreading to their friend, their neighbor, their colleague,
Yeah.
with your time there?
Hey, that Olivia Richardson, she knows what she's talking about. She's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
We should work
true.
with her. But really, no, it's I think what's so funny, I honestly want to have. I've already had some people find me, come take some selfies with me, and introduce themselves. And I got to meet some Medicare Catharians. I'm that's sticking. I'm using it forever.
I
So
love that.
I've already had the pleasure to meet with so many people who have watched the cafe. So what I want what I want people to take from this is that when I'm working with these people and they're talking about their current upline, or it's kind of funny watching agents try to like pin these partners against each other's or talk about, oh, did you see their booth? Did you see what they're doing? And people inside of integrity and people outside of integrity. And it's just like there's not, I think a lot of people assume that we as competitors aren't also best friends and aren't also like we're competitors in real life too. And it's like, no, like I love these other people. There's so many people inside of integrity, but even outside of integrity that like I love to see the success that they're having because it's showing the health of our industry.
Hmm.
And so if you're here, would love you to meet with us, would love you. It's myself, Matt Carson, Will Pierce. Me and Will actually be at the Integrity booth starting at 3:30 today, local time in Vegas. So come see us if you're interested in learning more about senior marketing specialists, if you want to learn more about Medicare Cafe. But I think a lot of people expect us to like talk trash on the other FMOs that are there, and we can't do that because there's so many wonderful people in this industry, and the fact that agents are trusting uplines to continue to bring them support and continue to bring them help them be successful in this insurance agency. Work with an upline. I don't care who. It shows the health of our of our industry. There's plenty of business to grow around. If you want the best one, obviously work with us. But I say that kind of joking, but just, man, it's been so cool. It's been so cool to see everybody here. So just make the partnership. There's so many good ones. Just, make those connections 100%.
Yeah, surround yourself with people. I think that includes the uplines that you're working with or the agencies that you're coinciding yourself with.
100%. If you don't want to go and hang out with your upline and they're here, get a new upline. Like you should have that kind of relationship with your upline, with your FMO, that it's like you want to search them out, you want to connect with them. I've seen yesterday I was having drinks with Sherry, Michelle, and Emily, like three of my favorite people, three of my favorite cafeterians
I'm
ever.
jealous.
And it's, yeah, they're just, and it's just like, man, like I love this, like just getting to spend time with the people that are, they're not that far from us, but hours away, where we have to go all the way to Vegas to spend time with each other. But yeah, just find your fit, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I know it was mentioned in the chat, but I want to say it audibly as well. If you're finding Olivia while you guys are there at Medicarians, please find her, grab her, take a picture with her, and then post it, tag us in it, and we'll enter you guys into a giveaway, get some swag out. I would love to be able to have the cafe brand from coast to coast, wherever that may be. So make
Yeah,
sure you
dude.
find some time there. But Olivia, I'm going to go ahead and give you your morning back and see if you can't get down to the cafe, grab some coffee or whatever it is you need to fuel the rest of your day.
I have zero coffee yet.
I feel like that's a crime if you're going to be on the cafe and not a cup of coffee.
Well, in Vegas, they don't love to give you free things. So they make you leave the room to go get coffee and go get snacky snacks and stuff. And I've not done that yet today. So here I am.
Well, knowing that you sacrificed your breakfast and your morning coffee for us in our time is makes us feel that much more warm and pleasant. So thank you again.
Absolutely.
Guys. The best way to make sure this news and this type of information gets spread is to make sure you're liking the video, subscribing to Medicare Cafe. That way you can join us on the next one. We are just so passionate and want to make sure that you guys are getting good and transparent information and having fun conversations like this, whether it's in Vegas or here in Columbia, Missouri, or wherever it may be that you're tuning in today. So with that being said, Olivia, from miles and miles apart, have fun.
Make money.
And give impeccable service.
Service.
Thanks,
Nailed it.
guys. Have a good one.